Hi, teens and tweens. Today is Caricature Day, and I am so excited. I've had so much fun looking at the pictures your parents submitted, and I made a few caricatures out of them. And today we're going to work on another one. So if I happen to draw yours, definitely take a screenshot of it and try to imitate it. We're just going to talk a little bit about caricatures. They're meant to be silly and funny, and so they're not supposed to look exactly like you or the person you're drawing. What you're doing is you're picking out features on a person's face or their hair, and you're going to over exaggerate some features and you're going to minimize some of the features. So you have to pick and choose, but you do want to keep it's tricky because you want to keep some of it the same, because obviously you want to recognize who that person is in the picture. So we are going to practice first on different eye shapes, different nose shapes, and then we're going to draw another caricature with a photo of my son. So it is great if you have a photo of someone with something that's identifying. So the glasses. You go, oh, I know who that is because he wears those glasses all the time. The apple in this picture definitely makes you look at it and go, oh, okay, I remember that picture. That must be her. Definitely keeping the hair similar. But okay, so let's start with just practicing some different eye shapes, because as you can see in these pictures, every shape is different. So in this one, we made the eyes smaller than, so we minimized the real feature of this person. So we made the eyes smaller. We made the glasses bigger. So you're going to have to play with this and pick and choose what features you want to make bigger and smaller in a person. And on this one, we made the eyes almost like a rectangle, because sometimes when people smile, their eyes can look squinty. So for like squinty eyes, you can do something like this. So we're just going to practice right now with different shapes. You know, we all have a eyelid, so that would be squinty eyes. I'll do another one over here. And then the little creases. Now, one of my sons, the one we're going to draw today, actually a few of them, they looked at my caricatures and they said, those are good, but you didn't make it silly enough. And so they meant that they wanted to see someone where their ears looked like Dumbo, and maybe their glasses were super big or their heads were super small. And some characters, they do that, where they will really, really over exaggerate a feature. But this is all new to you all, and I didn't want anyone's feelings to get hurt if I really over exaggerated features. So that's why I just kept it pretty simple. So here's they're a little bit squinty. You put little lines around them. These eyes are another shape. So instead of looking to the side, they're looking right at you. And I call these like the football shape eyes. So with football shape eyes. And something to notice with the eyes are never a circle like this. If you do a circle like this and then the eye, it doesn't look right, because your eyelids hang over so I'm going to scribble that out so you don't use that one. The eyelids hang over your eyes, so there's always a part of the eye that's cut off. See? At the top and the bottom. So I do that. I just make two curved lines, and then your pupil. And with the pupil, however you make the eyes, you always want to leave a little bit of white inside the pupil for the light. That's with any shape eye you make. See that? And then when you want to make it look more squinty, you put some lines underneath. Okay, so that's those eyes. And then the eyes above it are pretty similar. They're just bigger. So those are just things to keep in mind with eyes. With noses, you know, if you're going with a side angle like this, you know, you're not going to see both nostrils like on this one when you're doing a nose from the side. Okay, so you would just make a line like that comes down, and then a nostril. Like that, and then don't forget a little line like this. Okay, so that's a side nose. And for a straight on nose, don't forget you do want these little lines, and you know, you start your two nostrils, and you can make the nose really big, you can make the nose really, really tiny, because this is a character, so you just want to have fun with it. And I can't wait to see what you all do with your characters. So if you want to take a picture of your brother or sister and do a character, as long as they won't be upset, you know, I can't wait to see them. So here's a nose that's straight on. So you have two nostrils and the sides, and then you're going to need the bridge of the nose. Okay, so those are some tips there. And then we have a closed mouth. So I'm just going to we'll do a closed mouth on this one. So I know I was taking some features from this one, but now I'm actually looking at her. So for a closed mouth, and look at your picture, because some people, it's more straight across than a little V in the middle. So you really just have to look at your picture and decide, okay, how can we make this into more of a cartoon? Okay, so you do that, and then we're going to just do a line across, and then another one for our little happy face. And then some people's smile lines are small like that. Some people even have like a little curve in their chin. Some people have super, super long eyelashes. So if you wanted to, you can make some big eyelashes. And then let's look at a side smile with teeth. So for that, you can go up. Maybe this person has a really big smile. Or maybe you want to make some really big teeth. It's supposed to be silly, okay? And then you would just darken in the areas that are not showing, okay? And then with smiles, you definitely want some smile lines. So we're going to dive into it. I just wanted to show you some different features, but we are going to do a character now. Let's see if I can put this one where you can see it. We're going to do a character now of Mr. Jax. And I'm going to try and make his super silly because he told me that's what he wanted. So he said, you didn't make them silly enough. So let's see what we can do with his. All right, so I'm going to start with the shape of his head. And this is his forehead. I'm going to be doing this area here. Okay. So I do want to keep that similar to what we have going on there so that we know it's him. Okay. So that's just that top curve of his head. And you don't have to draw what I'm drawing if you want to. You can, otherwise you can just do the same steps with your picture. You can say, okay, I'm looking at this picture. I'm going to start with the shape of my head too. Okay, and now I'm going to come down like this, side of the face. He's got a lot of cheeks. Give him a lot of cheeks. And then I'm just going to give him a chin. Okay. And I realize, again, this is not realistic because in normal life, his face is more round. His cheeks don't come out that far. Okay. But that's what I'm going to do here. And because he wanted a very silly picture, I'm going to make his ears very large. I'm going to surprise him. He doesn't know I'm doing this. He saw me drawing pictures of all of you guys, and he said they needed to be more silly. So we'll give him one. Okay, so there are my big ears. And when you make ears, you want to make some of those other lines inside the ears, right? Okay. All right, and now let's move on. Oh, I don't know what happened here. There. Let's move on to the nose. So I'm going to make his nose a little more narrow than it normally is, like that. And then I'm going to make it a little wider than it normally is. Actually, hang on. I made it more narrow at the top, wider over here. And then we're going to do his nostrils. And I'm going to make a little curve like that. Okay. I'm going to make his eyes a little smaller than normal. And I'm doing the football shape for his eyes because he's looking straight at me. Give him some eyeballs. Make sure you leave a white space in your eyeball. And when you're drawing your characters, you can also include something about the person. Like maybe if your sister loves to dance, you can maybe put some dance shoes on or in the background or some music notes or just something that shows what that, it just makes it more identifiable for that person. Okay. All right. And I'm going to make Jax's eyebrows. First, I'm going to add some little curves here. Okay, so for the eyebrows, just going to make them kind of thin. There's one. You just want to look at the shape of your picture and follow it. You can make them bigger or smaller. Okay. And Jax has freckles. So I'm going to put little freckles on him. And now I'm going to make a smile for Jax. He has, I'm going to tell you something funny about Jax. He has, and his, if you look at his mouth, it's basically straight across. He doesn't have, when he smiles, he doesn't have that. So let's just make it straight across. He doesn't have a very curved center of his lip. So we'll make it straight across. And like that. Oh, so I was telling you, his name is Jax, and he, I'm going to make his bottom look pretty small. He has 2 other kids in his class that have similar names, Jackson, but he also goes by Jax. And so he told his class to keep it simple, to call him J-Bone. So everyone calls him J-Bone, which I think is kind of funny. I don't know where he got that name from. No clue. Okay. So we're getting there. So now he's got his little smile. Jax has some cheeks on him, so I'm just going to make it like high cheeks there. Okay. And then we want to do his teeth. And he said he wanted it silly, so I'm going to make them very big in the front. Okay. And now, something that always really kind of ties in a character is the hair. So that's something you want to keep very similar to your picture. Okay. So Jax has this little wave going on his hair. So we will definitely keep that similar. Okay. He's got some sideburns going. Okay, and then we're going to make a little neck. And a little body. Okay, and then it's time to outline it. So you're going to need a Sharpie marker and go ahead and start outlining. I like to use colored pencils with my characters. decided I want this side of the neck to be smaller. There. Tweak it however you want before you do the marker. I'm going to do my freckles with colored pencils, so I'm not going to fill those in. Don't forget that little white spot in the eye. Try and make them in the same place on both eyes. You could have one white spot or two, but definitely don't forget that. If you have smaller Sharpies, that can be helpful too. Mine is kind of big, but I'm doing the best with what I have here. Okay. And then I am going to put a little line above the eye. Almost forgot that. Okay. So now we have my jacks. And then you just take colored pencils. And then things that will make it identifiable, like the color of the shirt they're wearing in the picture, you definitely want to keep that. The color of the hair and the eyebrows, you want to keep the same. Oops, you know what? I gotta put a line here. And then you just go ahead and fill it in. So your homework, I'm going to give you homework today. Your homework is to try a few of these. You know, when you have some time, I want you to try a few different characters, different people. You can try one where certain features are over exaggerated, and then maybe the next one you try with the same picture, maybe make those smaller instead of bigger, and then see what happens. You know, kind of play with it and see, okay, well, if I make his eyes bigger and his nose smaller next time, will that be better? Would that be sillier? Or, you know, you can just kind of mess around with it a little bit. Now, Jax, I almost did brown eyes and he's got blue eyes. It's funny that my boys, out of 4 boys, 3 of my boys got blue eyes and I have brown eyes. And my husband has blue eyes. And normally brown eyes are more dominant, but somehow I have no idea. Somehow I have more blue-eyed kids than brown-eyed kids. So you're just going to color it in with colored pencils. And then with the colored pencils, you know, you can add layers and shadowing to it if you want to. I'll try and do this quickly so I could show you. You just go right over the marker. I use Sharpie and it doesn't smudge. So like, for instance, under the chin, if I keep going over just that one spot with the colored pencil, I could add like a darker area underneath the chin there. And same thing by the cheeks. If I want to just make it a little darker on one side of the chin, maybe under the lip a little bit. Anywhere where these marker lines are, I could make it darker near them. And then I'm not going to forget my adorable freckles on my boy. There's little freckles. And then we need a lip color. Now I'm going to have to layer because this color is too pink, but the other color was too red. So I'll do that. That, and even put some of the skin color on the lips too. Okay. And then in the picture, he was wearing a dark blue shirt. So I'll try and find, I have a blue crayon, so that's going to have to work here. So keep practicing at this because guess what? These make awesome gifts. This would be like, if you get really good at making characters, you can make birthday gifts, Christmas gifts for people. You could even start a little side business where people pay you to make characters. And once you're finished, don't forget to sign it. I hope you had fun doing characters with me today. And please, if you think of it, take a picture and show me yours. Have a great day. Bye, guys.